Hey guys, it's Brook Thunder, and today we're going to be unboxing, setting up, and doing a demo of Spirit Halloween's Two Scoops. Alright, so here they are. Here's the box. It's a pretty big box. It is more square than usual, but it is still a huge box here. But here they are. I was not planning on getting these guys until I saw some videos actually of them in person, and they look really, really cool. So, we are going to be unboxing them today. Super excited they came. It was pretty weird. I never got like a tracking, but they just arrived today. So, let's open them up. So first here we do have something on top, so we can't get any sneak peeks here. But let's take this piece off. If we can, yes, it looks like we can. Alright, so this comes right off, and then tilt the box here. The first thing you see is actually the cone. So the girl in the cone is like the first thing that pops out here. So we'll take this out because this is awesome. There we go. It looks super realistic. The paint job on her is awesome. It's super cool. And then the cone is great. The cone is huge. Really nice. All plastic, but looks great. There it is. Put this aside. I do see the clothing, so let's take this out. Here's the clothing in this bag. This is the one thing I wasn't too excited about, but it's actually not too bad. These collars are not great quality. They're kind of more like the techie fabric, but this isn't too bad. This is more like Henry. So yeah, not too bad. Doesn't feel like it'll rip too easily. But I definitely love the pattern on this. And he's really tall, as you can tell. Over 7 feet. They are taller than most towering props. Alright, now, next up we have a lot of pulls right here. Here is the base with some leg pulls. Looks like 4 different leg pulls there. We have the full color instructions. We have the huge shoulder piece with the 2 heads. There they are. Looks good. Now, I do see the actual 2 heads down here. We'll try to take those out next. Adapter box. Feels bigger than usual. Got some foam for the legs. Got some cardboard for packaging. But first, let's take out the hands because the hands are easier. But here they are. These are huge hands. They look so creepy. There they are. Remind me of Nightcrawler's look, but Krampus's mold. There's one, and then the other one is still in the bag. But right down here. There they are. Also plastic. But next, the heads are latex. So here is one of the heads, and they are huge. Almost crouchy side. There is one of them. Let's see. Okay, it looks pretty good. Some come a bit more deformed. This one actually looks pretty good. There it is. This is the creepier head, I think. It's got the less sharp teeth, but the kind of weird looking jaw. So it doesn't have as good of mouth movement, but it's pretty creepy looking and huge. Very big. And then the other one is a different mold. But like I said, both latex. Oh yeah, this one looks awesome. The teeth on this one are great. There they are. This one's mouth moves a lot more. Back. I love that they didn't do white all the way. Has a nice transition. Looks pretty creepy. But yeah, they look really good. Put that down. Next up here, we have the huge mechanism here. And this has the back piece on it right here, if you can see that. But it's got 2 separate motors. One's controlling the arms. One controlling the head and body, I think. Alright. Next, I love the shoes. Let's take out the shoes here, because these are great. They're huge and very detailed, unlike most of the SVI type shoes. These are much bigger first, and also a lot more detailed with the paint and sculpt. Looks great. And also higher quality plastic, more like the Cuddles and Underworld heads. And finally, we have the 2 arms. These are very small, but that's how a lot of the bigger props are, but it ends up looking pretty good. And then the final piece is just a hip loop. But that's all of our pieces there. Let's start the setup. Here we go. Alright, so our first step here is the shoes, but we're going to take out the instructions just to make sure we are doing everything right. But this should be a pretty simple setup. He's got a very SVI type setup. Alright, laying this out. Our first thing are those shoes and poles. So our first 2 poles are these ones, it looks like. Yeah, part B. So let's get the shoes ready. But what we're going to do here is we're going to put this on like this, and then take our first pull, put it in, and snap lock that down. There we go. There's our first shoe. Take our second one, and actually let's get our shoe first. Put this down. Same thing. And these shoes are so cool. They definitely give a better look than the normal SVI ones because they are just a lot bigger. They definitely give a better impression of the prop itself being a lot bigger. I think more of the SVI ones should have bigger shoes like this. And also I like the matte texturing instead of the shine. But there we go. That's both of them snap blocked. And now we have our foam labeled M. Slide this down. There we go. Kind of rips through, but there we go. I don't think these will do too much because his clothing should kind of self-form around this just a bit. But let's see here. Could be wrong. There we go. Next up we have, looks like our last two leg pulls. So not too much here. But these ones come back up at this angle, and I think, yeah, they're both C, so it doesn't matter which side they go on. There we go. And there's the other one. All right. So next up we have two more pieces of foam to put in. But I don't know where those actually are. I don't know if I got any more foam. Yeah, I don't think it included two more pieces. Let's see. Yeah, it does show there are L pieces, but these are both M, and I don't think I have the L ones. So instead what we can do is kind of just slide this up over the knee to cover the knees, because that's basically all you need for the foam. But there we go. Now, next up, we are going to move up the camera, but we're going to attach the clothing down because it is all one piece. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, so now it is time to attach the clothing. Did double check, there are no other pieces of foam. I haven't really watched too many other videos, but I'm guessing that is just with mine. I'm guessing most of them will come with all the foam. But yeah, for some reason this one didn't. Hopefully it's not missing any other parts. It doesn't look like it is. The only part I haven't seen is actually the sensor, so hopefully that is in the box, which it does look like it is. Alright, but there we go. Looks like we have them on the right way. I'm not sure where their sensor is. I'm guessing somewhere in the clothing. It could be in one of the heads as a separate piece. So yeah, probably in the clothing somewhere. I don't see the sensor hole yet. Hopefully we do soon. But yeah, that is the right way. I do see the Velcro in the back where it's supposed to be, because that is where you access the control box. But there we go. Let's bring this all over to the front. We can unvelcro him here. Just unvelcro the whole back section so we can get these poles exposed. And there's one. There's the other one. There we go. Alright, so clothing is all on. Now we can put on the mech. Here is the giant mech, and this gives him a lot of his height. Now it looks like this is the wrong way. There we go. The sensor is actually attached to this too as well. But there it is, turning mech for the body, and a turning mech for the arms to go up and down. So yeah, he has a good amount of movement. Both mouths move. Very, very good prop for the price. Alright, so he's all snapped in there. Next up, it looks like we are attaching the wires. So it wants us to do the wires now, which is fine because then we can show it on camera. Looks like these two are already connected, so the sensor is connected. And the motor wire is already connected. Something down here, this is already connected as well. So all of these are already connected, it looks like. The spring's on, that looks all good. So we can adjust our volume now. I'm not going to put it on full, but we'll put it pretty loud. And also on sensor mode. Alright, next up here. We do want to pull his clothing all the way up. So now we should lift the camera, but then we will continue setting him up. Here we go. Alright, so it is time to take these all the way up and just get his cloth looking good. And actually, let's see how it looks without the hip loop. I think I'm going to be doing it without it because I don't like the look of the hip loop. That's the main thing I don't like about this guy. And right now it's looking like it might look okay without one because it really does make him look a lot more fake than he's supposed to. Alright, so we do have our two heads. So we've got some weird Velcro connectors up here. It looks like this is one of them, but this must be the other, which doesn't have its Velcro on. So let's do that quick. Looks like it attaches up to the same area. There we go. And that's where the two heads are going to go on up there. This will be more like this because we're going to have this arm over here. But yeah, not too tall right now. We will fix up the clothing, but I'm definitely going to like this better without the hip loop because the hip loop sticks out a ton. But there we go. Our next step here is actually putting on the arms. So let's get some more of this Velcroed up so it doesn't fall apart here. But we can put on the arms now. Looks good there. So the arms are those really small arms, and they end up looking pretty good though. So this one will go over here. Because of how big the hands are, I think that still just gives the effect of them being huge, more than if the arms were big. Not too much foam on these though, which might make them look kind of skinny. We're going to have to take this all off anyways, so that's fine. But there we go. It looks like it is in the up position with the arms right now, unless the cone weighs it down a ton, but we'll see. There we go. Not bad so far. Next up, we have our other one right here. This will go in through this arm. There we go. And we're just going to slide this all the way to the top here. But yeah, that doesn't actually look too bad. Because they're in such a bent position, it still gives the effect of them being pretty big. There we go. Yeah, this one's way up too. They will come in to connect at the cone though. There we go. All right, next up, it looks like we are adding the heads, but also we have this giant back piece to add on, which gives them a huge effect. Just makes them look a lot bigger. Helps form the clothing as well. So let's put this on. It looks like it goes over here in the middle section, kind of. But we'll have to get back here to see more of where it goes. Yeah, I'm not sure where this goes right now. I don't see any attachments for it. But yeah, once I get that, we'll be back. And then I think our next step is actually adding on those heads. Be right back. All right, so he's looking super cool. I do have the back piece on, and I have the heads ready to go on next. So let's take our heads. This one is going on this side, so we're going to go around. We're going to move him just a bit. There we go. This one goes on this side over here. Just got to unvelcro so we can see a bit better. But this gives him a ton of height. His neck goes down a lot, and then he also has the collar to help make that not exposed. But he is huge. I do not remember him being that big. When I saw him in person, he is giant. Super tall. These heads add a lot of height. A lot more than I expected. All right, there we go. Take this over here and slide this down. We will fix up the wiring later, and also the clothing. There we go. Looks good. Looks like we have them, yep, on the right sides. But there they are. They are probably too big to put in the camera, so let's raise this up. Or actually, no, that looks pretty good. They are in a turned position right now, if you can't tell. But they look awesome there. They are huge. So our next step here is actually adding on their collars. And these are all Velcro. I like that a lot better than the ties. They don't seem to be doing ties too much anymore, though, so that's good. All right, there's 1, 2, and then 3. It's just 3 simple Velcros, and then it covers up everything metal. There's 1, and also we're going to take off those stickers eventually. I also love how it goes straight onto the neck. I'm not sure where the other collar is. There it is under the instructions. But yeah, it definitely looks better when the animatronic necks aren't exposed because then they look a lot less fake. Even though ones like this you can tell are animatronics, it's still really cool looking when they have that full effect. Right there is actually where the sensor is. I just spotted that on the collar up there. It's kind of high up. Hopefully it's pointed down just a bit. But there we go. Now, our next ones to do are the hands, and it looks like those are kind of in the up position. So this hand is over here. But yeah, this has to be in the up position because they are angled like this. And I found out his mech is a lot like Mr. Howell's actually, so it's pretty easy to tell how it is angled here. But there's one arm on, or one hand, and that definitely completes the look of the huge arms. Here's the other one, just normal prongs, but I don't know, they might need something just to keep them in, might not. I haven't seen any fall off. It does kind of come up at a pretty high angle though. So you might want to kind of do a little zip tie or something to keep them in just sturdy. But there we go. Let's attach the ice cream cone for our final piece. Slide this up. One's going to go like this. Slide in. And he does actually carry this. Some props just give the effect of carrying something. Two Scoops actually carries the ice cream. So, it's super close. It's not sliding in fully. We'll just slide it on this one and then get it off camera. But there we go. This one will slide in like this, but their setup is pretty much complete there. But there they are. Much better than I expected, much bigger than I expected. But now it is time for the demo. Here we go. All right, they are wired up and ready to go. Here they are. So the arm wasn't working at first, and I've seen many people have that same problem. All I had to do is just kind of fidget around with the wires inside, and then it started working right away. So let's plug them in.
Give me that!
Let go!
It's mine!
Get your own!
They do have kind of a long reset here, but other than that, they have awesome animation.
What's wrong, little girl? Don't you like ice cream?
Everybody likes ice cream.
This one's mine! You can have the next one.
Forget it. I'm not falling for that again.
Fine, we'll share.
Alright, so that was Two Scoops. I like these guys a lot more now that I'm seeing them again. They are huge. They're way bigger than I remembered. A ton of detail in those faces. Love the little girl's face as well. And the screams. They sound a lot better than the SVI ones, I think. But yeah, they have a great look. Lots of motion for their price. $220. I definitely recommend them because that is a much better price than I was expecting. But yeah, they're so cool, really very detailed and scary looking. But yeah, I think they are going to fit right in the haunt this year. Alright, thank you guys for watching. That was Two Scoops. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.